Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Navigate Tuesday tip. I'm Pam, and today's topic is electronic signatures. HUD, way back in 2020, actually sent out a notice about electronic signature, transmission, and storage. The notice applies to most HUD multifamily programs, but it does not apply to the 221D4s, home or public housing. For other programs, if the guidance is conflicting, you want to refer to the 4350.3. So back in 2020 is when they started looking at guidance for electronic signatures, largely because what else was going on in 2020? That was when COVID hit, and we were really doing things in more different remote ways and less in-person contact. And so there really needed to be some very clear guidance on electronic signatures. What documents can be electronic? Just about everything. Documents transmitted among owners and agents, HUD, contract administrators, and some other service providers can be electronic. Documents submitted by or provided to applicants or tenants, documents submitted to and from third-party verifiers, and documents used for a lot of other HUD multifamily purposes. Be aware of state and local law on electronic documents and electronic signatures. While HUD permits it, there are other laws that come into play that may require wet signatures, ink signatures for certain things like certification forms, the 9887 consent packets, leases, lease addenda. So seek guidance from your attorney as needed or your supervisor to make sure that the particular document you want to do electronically is permissible. Be very careful anytime you are dealing with personally identifiable information. You need to have policies in place to protect that information. And it's important to know that items that aren't by themselves personally identifiable information can become that when there's a lot of different elements to it. Owners and agents should set policies to protect the sensitive information of applicants and tenants. And the particularly sensitive information that we're talking about is things like social security number, date of birth, bank account numbers, medical providers, information on medical providers. All of those things can be very damaging to your tenant or applicant if released. Electronic signatures can take many different forms. So they can be text, biometric, or audible. So electronic signatures can be things like typing your name with an acknowledgement in an email or signature block, digitized images of signatures, a code, password, or PIN, sounds such as recording consent, clicking on an I agree button or something similar, or scanning and applying a fingerprint in some cases. It's up to the owner agent to decide which methods you will accept. And again, you're going to be seeking guidance from attorneys and supervisors or others as needed. One of the things you need to make sure of is ensuring the intent to sign. So you need some affirmative step that somebody needs to take to indicate their intent to agree to it. You can't just have somebody that's like, by applying to housing, you've consented. So they either want to have a statement on that says, by clicking this button or by typing my name, something that advises the tenant of when they are giving consent. Ensure that the signature is affixed or legally associated to the record. That can take the form of many different things, but you need to make sure that the action is clear to the signer. So it needs to be very clear to the person giving consent that they're giving consent or acknowledging something. And the association between their signature and whatever they're signing needs to be clear to anybody who refers it or reviews it. So you're looking at things like, having it printed so that it's clear that it's this document goes with this signature, or some other way to ensure that anybody reviewing that information is going to clearly see what the signature is associated to. You want to, in some way, identify or authenticate the signer and protect the integrity of the signature. So make sure that people can't hack in and, copy signatures or steal authentication of the signer is critical when it comes to electronic signatures. Protects both the tenant and you. Multi-factor protection, for instance, passwords and a PIN, are much more secure than just one authentication, typing in a login. Be sure to confirm or update your electronic methods. Ensure that any hard-to-read items are checked to make sure that somebody can understand them. And be sure to get consent from them first before you do electronic delivery of forms. So, good idea is to have a consent form that somebody signs and provides their email address or their phone number and affirmatively consents to getting documents, messages by email or text. You want to make sure that your equipment has appropriate security, limited access, limited passwords, need to know access, firewalls and VPNs, passwords and multi-factor authentication. Make sure nobody is sharing passwords or usernames, malware and virus protection, and making sure that you quickly terminate the access of former employees. That's going to do it for electronic signatures. If you would like to see something in particular on the next Tuesday tips, please let us know. You can email Vicki or me at the email addresses on your screen, and we'll see you on the next Tuesday tip.